I don't even like seeing his face as a cartoon. Hey, what's up, everyone? And welcome to another Anyway, welcome to another reaction to another SunnyV2 video. This is how Steven Seagal became Hollywood's worst celebrity. That's saying something. Well, yeah, no, he's bad. I can't really argue with this one. Anyway, so yeah, Steven Seagal's a gigantic piece of shit. Like, he sucks. He really does. He's awful. So, but it is fun listening to people tell stories about him. That's for sure. How much of a scumbag he is. How much he's just done horrible things. He's lied. He's whatever. He's interesting to hear people talk and make fun of him more so than actually see him in a movie. I mean, some of his early movies I like. Under Siege, like, if you just watch it, it's Die Hard on a Boat, kind of, pretty much. I mean, it's fun. It's a fun movie. What else? Now I can't remember. What other ones? He had other ones that I think I enjoyed. I think so. What's the one with DMX? Is there one with DMX, or am I thinking of the Jet Li movie? No, yeah, he was in a movie with DMX, right? Nah, he was. He was. Hold on. Steven Seagal, DMX. Exit Wounds, that's what it was called. I remember liking that as a kid. It doesn't have great reviews. What was the Jet Li DMX movie? What was that? That was Cradle to the Grave. Cradle to the Grave, even though I don't think it was a sequel, so. This is cool because they put a 2 in there instead of T-O. Anyway, so let's get to it. Stole from Disabled. I don't think I've ever heard that story, so I'm excited to hear about that one. Jesus. Anyway, let's get to it. 3, 2, 1, play.
He killed a family.
I just read. Wait, hold on. We're already starting strong. One of my favorite stories, though, is hearing. I forgot who it was, but someone was talking about how they saw Steven Seagal crying, and they were like, "Hey, Steve, what's going on? You all right?" He's like, I just read the most beautiful screenplay ever. It's so good. And then I forgot whose story it was. I was like, hey, who wrote this? Whose screenplay? Who wrote it? He's just like, me. It's fuck you. I hate you so much. Anyway, let's go.
He killed a family's 1-year-old puppy dog and stole money from a kid in a wheelchair.
What? No, this is like evil. Like, if you want to make a character evil in a movie, this is the 2 things you do to show like a flashback that they're evil.
Steven Seagal has such a comically terrible history. He now simply refuses to face it.
16,
I wonder how you deal with all that.
I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna give you a karate chop.
Number one, treating other actors terribly during filming.
Yep.
I have a family member that
he used to hurt people too.
Worked with him years ago on a low-budget film. Steven Seagal was miserable and rude, but it only gets worse from here.
But at least he would do it only in the chair, because like any newer movie, he's just in his chair. Even when he's fighting, he's like, come on, hey yo.
Whilst filming for the movie Exit Wounds, stuntman Stephen Quadros explained that Seagal would unexpectedly kick guys in the nuts to see if they were wearing cuffs, which was also mentioned by a different stuntman in a completely unrelated interview.
No!
The first thing he's gonna do is
I like these little animations, that's all.
in the nuts. He's like, oh hey, we're gonna get a cup. Well, he's just gonna pop you in the nuts. That's the first thing he does.
One comment stated, I actually know a few stuntmen and actors who've worked with Seagal, and they all echo the same thing
misspelled his name. Can't credit this
about him, one of whom might have been Stephen Lambert, who stated Seagal became more...
Dude, he looks like, from far away, he looks like, he kind of looks like Better Call Saul a little bit.
More unpredictable during his fight scenes.
He's notorious of breaking people's arms, legs, ribs.
As he'd actually punch and hit other actors to make the fights look real.
He was actually hitting the stuntman like...
Oh, yeah. Oh, Michael Jai White hates his ass. So, Steven Seagal, dude, I watched that one video where Steven Seagal, like, when someone's asking, all right, here's a few names, tell me if they're tough in real life, and they said Michael Jai White, and he said, kind of laugh in your face, dude, Michael Jai White could fold him in half, bro. At least he doesn't sit in a chair and fight all the time.
To make
Fuck,
matters
do you see
worse,
blood and
protective
bone?
equipment
You see Spawn?
wasn't allowed on
fuck,
set.
Will.
There's
Spawn,
nothing wrong with putting on pads. They would say no because he wouldn't allow
And
it.
it's therefore no surprise that during one scene, Seagal injured DMX's
Here, DMX?
shoulder during the fight, so X had to take a few days off.
X had to take a few days off.
Even worse was when Seagal put a stuntman in hospital.
And he beat the shit out of the guy and smashed his face to the mirror multiple times. He went over the top to the point that sent the guy to the hospital.
Which isn't
I don't know why that cut to that guy's with.
surprising given he was this rough while filming a YouTube video.
Jesus.
I wasn't ready.
As a result, actors have to be extremely careful just to appear alongside him.
You got to keep a third eye on what he's doing. And if you're not good enough, he's going to hurt you.
Although not only because of unexpected injuries. Seagal
That
would
sounds very professional.
show up on set demanding insane movie changes.
Calls the director. He's like, we're changing the scene. We're gonna do the scene in Arabic. He's gonna teach me. And he's like, put this camera here, put this camera here. I was like, everybody's like, what?
While Stephen Tobolowsky
Oh yes, I saw his. Yeah, his
told
Yeah.
a funny
He didn't want to do violence anymore or some shit. He went fucking full like. I don't know.
story where
He went like an Eddie Murphy route where Eddie Murphy didn't want to be funny anymore.
Seagal
He's
randomly
like, but that's
stopped
what you do, bro. I don't want to be violent anymore. That's all you do, Steven. You're not a good actor. You just murder people. Kind of, well, I guess, in movies.
acting on set
And maybe in real life, too. I don't know.
due to an unexpected crisis.
Steven Seagal has had a spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
He decided that he doesn't want to kill people anymore in movies. And Steven says, I think it's just bad that we keep putting this violence into the world.
What a
This result-
fucking lame motherfucker. I bet there was like some ulterior motive there. Maybe a girl he wanted to fuck was just like, I don't like violence. He was like, all right, motherfucking movie, next one, I'm not gonna kill him.
Resulted in a $14 million lawsuit claiming that Seagal not only regularly showed up late and left early, but also made regular unauthorized changes to the script and dialogue, which could result in the loss of millions of dollars because parts of the film's plot that were promised now cannot be delivered to the films. Seagal was sued for another $60 million after repeating his actions on 4 other sets,
God damn.
justifying
They put the dollar sign in the right place.
his lack of effort with the worst excuse you'll ever hear. Seagal backed out because his Buddhist guru known as Mukara said the films would create bad karma, perhaps because
Create bad karma.
Seagal's also been exposed for exaggerating his skills as a
Of
fighter.
course, dude. There's video footage of him like he doesn't do anything. He goes like this, and a motherfucker like flips 3 times in the air. Like, what the fuck is this?
Steven Seagal is in fact a black belt martial artist.
Look at
However,
this
his
shit.
martial
He just pushes people. Yeah, Aikido,
of
right?
choice Aikido,
Aikido,
has
there
been
you go.
heavily criticized for being one of those mostly
Bullshit.
impractical martial arts.
It's
that
bullshit,
has
just say it,
extremely
it's
limited
bullshit.
application in real life
It's bullshit.
scenarios.
He is a legitimate Aikido black belt, but the martial art is the questionable thing.
A Reddit comment describes Seagal's martial art to be kind of a cult with fake telegraphed attacks. The attackers are just there to make the master look good,
No shit.
which is exactly
Dude, everybody could beat Steven Seagal's ass. I remember there was a long time ago, it wasn't Steven Seagal, but somebody was doing this kind of thing. I don't know if it was Aikido or something, but someone was like, they said that they could like beat somebody without really doing much, you know? I forgot what it was. And then someone came up and fucked that guy up. Oh, fuck. I wish I knew more info. I saw that video. It was a long time ago. It
what
might even be a
shown in
classic
this
YouTube video.
where Seagal's attackers just fall to
Look at
the
this
floor
shit.
to make him look good for the crowd. Unfortunately, people
Fuck, I
don't
wish it was that easy.
voluntarily flip over in the real world.
They don't, but they do. Look, he's doing
This
it.
makes pro wrestling look real. Wonderfully
Bullshit.
choreographed. Fighting is always easier when your opponent cooperates. It's therefore no surprise Seagal has no professional fighting
No,
record.
Jean LeBell is
Anime doesn't
they're gonna bring
kill.
him.
So-and-so coming in the cage
Whoa.
is a world champion with a background in Aikido. You never heard that once. Have you
I never knew Ronda Rousey talked.
ever heard that once? It's for a reason.
But he did claim that he'd taught Anderson Silva how to do a highly specialized move, the leg
what?
kick.
The leg kick? Is it when you kick a leg or just?
Started teaching kicks that I thought he could really hurt people with, and at that point I knew he was going to start to really make these kicks, work.
He created the front kick. Did he invent the wheel? In response, Anderson Silva made a video mocking Steven Seagal's fighting, although there was one more attempt by Seagal to prove he could actually fight. Whilst on set for the movie Out for Justice, Seagal claimed that due to his Aikido training, he couldn't possibly be choked unconscious.
Oh, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Jean LeBell, rest in peace.
The challenge was taken up by martial artist Jean LeBell, who not only choked Seagal out instantly, but also caused Seagal to soil himself in the moments he was blacking out.
You shit your pants.
When asked about the incident, LeBell stated, "Sometimes Steven has a tendency to cheese off the wrong people, and you can get hurt by doing that. So if a guy soils himself, you can't criticize him, because if they just had a nice big dinner an hour before, you might have a tendency to do that." Seagal responded by claiming that he and LeBell had never even fought.
There was never ever in any confrontation with him ever. And if
But did you soil yourself?
Gene is saying shit like
He just shit his pants without any fight.
that, he should be ashamed of himself. And so if he said that, he is a pathological scumbag liar.
Although no
He lies once, that means he's a pathological liar. That's hilarious coming from him. That's like if Darkside Phil called you a liar. You know, Darkside Phil and Steven Seagal have very similar vibes.
nobody believes Seagal's...
I want to make it clear, Steven Seagal is way more of a douchebag than DSP, but to be fair, Steven Seagal is 30 years older, so DSP has some time.
Side of the story,
And you know, even say Steven Seagal is more talented.
he has his own list of well-documented lies. For example, Seagal made the insane claim that he was honored as the first private citizen to destroy a nuclear device, whilst also
Fucking what?
claiming he was
can't be
recruited
that.
by the CIA to help carry out undercover missions.
But like, I've been doing a cop shit. What was that? A lawman show?
It explained, "You could say that I
My mom used
became
to
an
love that
advisor
shit.
to several CIA agents in the
Sad day.
field, and through my friends in the CIA met many powerful people and did special works and special favors, although an investigation by a magazine found these claims were completely bogus." It also dispelled the myth that Seagal once fought the Yakuza in his dojo, as the
Fuck is that fucking picture of him on the left?
magazine
looks
interviewed
disgusting.
Seagal's ex-wife, who stated it's a lie. He once chased a few drunks away from the dojo, but never was involved with the Yakuza. Similarly, Seagal made the claim that he was
That's him?
the tough kid who was feared by others, yet this was dispelled by his own mother, who
He got his ass beat.
stated her son was frail and suffered from asthma.
Oh no! Uh-oh.
He was a puny kid back
Damn, your mom hates him.
then, although Seagal had a plan to clarify exactly what
Yeah, he fucking Aikido'd his mom. Shut up.
was fact and
No,
fiction.
yo, you motherfucker, shut up.
He'd post a Reddit Ask Me Anything, likely expecting normal questions. However, the responses would only deepen the past that was already haunting him.
Yeah.
What kind of pants were you wearing when Jean LeBell choked you unconscious and caused you to shit your pants? I personally know a stuntman who had all of his front teeth knocked out by you and said you didn't even
Is that true?
apologize. Why did you do that? Can you
Teeth look so punchable.
explain how you developed the front kick that Anderson Silva used in his UFC fight? Although there was one more question that was worse than any other. Hey there, I went to the same junior
Okay.
high school as you in Fullerton, CA many years later. Heard some stories. The one I would like to ask you about is when your social studies teacher caught you stealing lunch money from a kid in a wheelchair. True, I didn't make this up. Seagal
Wait, I heard he crashed Woody Harrelson's prom and took advantage of him. I'm sorry?
understandably avoided
I hope
the
that's not
damning
true.
questions.
Poor
However,
poor
by
Woody.
answering some of the easy ones, he
Here he had Reddit. Oh, maybe that's the joke there. They used Woody Harrelson because it didn't work out very well for his AMA on Reddit.
introduce another flaw. His massive ego.
Oh, his ego
What
is
your
fucking
current biggest
nuts.
drive that motivates you? I am a champion and I want to remain a champion. Seagal's overinflated self-image was best shown in this interview, where he'd implied that Van Damme wasn't a good martial artist.
I also forgot about his Saturday Night Live. He has to bring up the Saturday Night Live thing where he's like, "Oh, you know what? I'm always
I think
spoiled,
that's
but
a
he's
matter
always
of
funny."
opinion, that he was a champion anywhere.
Which was then proven at a party when
Oh, dude, Jean-Claude Van Damme could fucking beat his ass. There's no doubt in my mind. Jean-Claude could be 30 years older than him. He could be in his hundreds and still beat his ass.
The two came head to head.
Jean-Claude could lose both his legs and still kick his ass somehow.
Was hosted by Sylvester Stallone, who stated, Van Damme was tired of Seagal's...
Wait, was that fucking Tommy Lee Jones back
head. The party was hosted by Sylvester...
Is it?
Stallone, who stated, Van Damme was tired of Seagal saying he could
He
kick...
was in, Under Siege, so maybe.
His ass, and went right up to...
Wait, he was in Under Siege, right? I'm not, like, fucking that up, right, in my brain? Yeah, no, he definitely was. I'm gonna look anyway. Yeah. Yeah, he was a good villain. Oops, sorry. Started playing a podcast I was watching. All right.
Him and offered him the chance to step outside so he could wipe the floor with him. Seagal made some excuse and left. Van Damme...
Oh, that's another thing DSP did compared to Steven Seagal. DSP talked so much shit during some fighting game community thing or whatever that I forgot who it was, but someone wanted to fight him, and then he like chickened out and said, "No, I don't know, I have gout or something. I don't know."
Who was completely berserk, tracked him down and again offered him a fight. And again, Seagal pulled a Houdini. Yet Seagal unsurprisingly stated it was Van Damme who ran from him.
Oh, sure.
He got in a fight with you? No. It'd be like me squashing an ant. If he sees me, he runs.
It's therefore no surprise that Seagal despises Van Damme.
For no reason, he just hates him because I guess he was getting more popular than him at the time. Like, whatever. Oh, here's the interview I was talking about before. Can I laugh in your face, he says.
Can I laugh in your face? I think Jean-Claude's a tough guy in martial arts. No.
However, Van Damme has only ever said positive things about Seagal in return.
I met the guy a few times. He's a nice guy. Doesn't like me much. I like him a lot. Good guy. Good charisma. He's got something special on the screen.
Another example.
What the fuck? So he met him a couple times and he was nice to him, and then he talked shit behind his back. Yeah, that's about right.
Example of Steven Seagal's ego came from a story told by Rob Schneider.
Oh, this is here we go. It was right. That's why I didn't remember who it was. This is the screenplay story. Fuck.
Steven Seagal emerges and he comes out and he said, "I just read the greatest script I've ever read in my life." He goes, "Really? Who wrote it?"
Me.
I did.
That's a pretty funny story, though. I will say. It's pretty fucking funny.
Once you realize that said best script ever was for his terrible performance on Saturday Night Live.
Listen to me carefully. I don't want you to talk about anything to me anymore. I don't want you to say my name anymore.
With atrocious lines such as
good fuck.
That one, it's no surprise a long-term...
Oh yeah, when he beats everybody's ass and then looks at the camera and says, "Oh, violence is bad." What the fuck is this?
SNL employee called Seagal
worst host by lapped every bad host.
However, Seagal's hosting of another show somehow ended even worse.
Oh, did it?
In 2009, Seagal told the LA Times he'd apparently been a policeman for more than 20 years.
His ass doesn't even get up off his chair. Even I get off my chair sometimes.
Proving this by showing a black and white photo of him raising his right hand in what looks like a swearing-in ceremony, creating the impression it was taken when he first joined the department. At closer inspection, however, it appears the photo was taken 20 years and at least 20 pounds after the fact, casting doubt on whether Seagal had ever been part of the force. Regardless.
So embarrassing.
This led Seagal to...
Steven Seagal, Lawman. Don't you fucking look at me.
Create a show
fat bastard.
Called Lawman, where he and his crew went around apprehending criminals, often done with excessive force to make for enjoyable viewing. Well, in one episode, Seagal attempts to break up an illegal cockfighting operation by raiding a house with a tank with the goal of freeing the animals.
What?
Is one of my pet peeves.
However, after
I've never heard of this.
Doing so, the property's owner Jesus Sanchez Uvera quickly filed a $100,000 lawsuit which claims that more than 100 prize chickens being bred for show were killed by Seagal and his colleagues.
Oh, this is the fucking puppy. Okay.
An 11-month-old puppy was also shot and killed during the early morning raid. Seagal responded by stating, "I've been called a lot of things in my career, some of them not so kind. But to be labelled an animal abuser is beyond the pale, and that is simply a role I will not accept."
Oh, so you'll accept other things.
While another policeman stated if my deputies, or Posseman Seagal for that matter, had done something so awful like shooting a family dog, then where are the photos to prove it? It seemed for the first
please don't say there's photos.
First time ever Seagal wasn't actually lying. However, there was one more lawsuit that would...
I was gonna say that one sounded like it probably wasn't true. Like, how would they kill 100 chickens? What would they have done? Run right into the barn, I guess, with the tank? They were all right behind that gate. Oh, 100 of them were behind the gate. Oops. That's unfortunate. And the dog, too. Why would you ever kill a puppy? Ever. Even Steven Seagal doesn't seem like he'd be that much of a piece of shit. I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm going to hope the other cops aren't pieces of shit.
The show completely. In mid-2010, Steven Seagal was sued for sex trafficking.
Sex trafficking? I've never heard that.
Which became one of so many different allegations.
I've heard all the sexual assault ones. Yeah, sex trafficking?
It's genuinely difficult to count them all. On the set of 1991 Out for Justice, 4 different women quit during filming due to Seagal's continued piggery, while one of the stuntmen from...
Not surprising. Fucking at all.
Earlier told an equally creepy story.
There's this girl sitting in a tub. She's wearing bikini, and they had to convince her that she has to come out of the tub naked.
The only thing that might rival his terrible track record...
I mean, watch every one... No, don't watch any of them. But if you watch every one of his, like, recent movies, all of them, he has, like, a girlfriend who's, like, 20 years old, and he's, like, 70. It's fucking... And he's still, like, the best or whatever at whatever he does. He's a hitman or whatever. A piece of shit.
With women is his track record with low-rated movies, none of which receiving more than 50% on Rotten Tomatoes or more than 5 out of 10 on IMDb.
I'm about to say most of those didn't even have scores. They had audience scores.
And with no
I heard China Salesman was so bad. If you want to see Steven Seagal get his ass beat by Mike Tyson, though, that might be fun.
In the last,
because he does, even though it's not really him. I watched the scene. It's like you could tell it's not him. It's like a body double. Because most likely what happened, Steven Seagal was like, I'm not getting my fucking beat like that. Even though I think he said something about, in that same interview earlier where he said, can I laugh in your face? I want to say he said like, Mike's getting kind of old. I don't know if he could beat me up anymore. I'm like, bitch, you like fucking 15 years older than Mike Tyson. What are you talking about?
5 years.
Mike Tyson can beat the shit out of most people nowadays, I think.
Seagal has opted for a modern method of generating extra income, crypto scams.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Steven Seagal scammed people with crypto.
From Team Seagal, Steven has just become the worldwide ambassador for the Bitcoin second generation.
Oh, no, you misspelled that. He's Bitcoin.
Right. Cryptocurrency. Despite gaining only 150 likes, Steven was promised $250,000 in cash and $750,000 worth of B2G tokens in exchange for his promotions, which he failed to disclose to the public, resulting in a $330,000 fine. Seagal paid only $75,000 toward his
Of course
debt.
he did. Of course he did. Of course he only needed... Yeah, of course. Of course he did.
Refusing to appear in court, then moving to Russia where he still lives now.
Yep, he lives with Russia and his boyfriend fucking Putin. Stay there, by the way. Anyway, don't ever come back here. Don't go anywhere else. Just stay in Russia. Sorry to all the Russian people out there that have to deal with them, but we don't want them. Anyway, there you go. That's it. That was great. That was a great video. I mean, I hate him. I hate him a lot. I want to get rid of him in my brain. I don't ever want to think about him again. But there you go. That's it. How Steven Seagal became Hollywood's worst celebrity.